This is the ultimate goal of your daily operations, to produce clean cars and generate customer satisfaction. You, the employee, are a valuable part of this daily process. You come in contact with customers each day. The impression the customer has of your facility depends largely on the impression they have of you, the employee. And what they'll remember most about you will be the service and the safety you provide. But a lot of preparation must be taken before the first car rolls through. Preparation that ensures your safety and your customer safety. It all begins at the very start of the day, in the morning when the manager arrives to open the facility. The key is being aware of your surroundings and potential hazards.
First thing I like to do every morning is check the wash equipment and the conveyor, make sure everything's in proper running condition.
In order to do a thorough scan, you need to know what to look for. In the tunnel, check hydraulic lines and look for any parts on the floor. It could be an easy indicator of a machinery problem. Outside the tunnel, scan for things like water or oil on the floor that could easily cause you or a customer to slip and fall. A good way of making sure you check all the potential hazards is to use a checklist and mark off areas as you inspect them. And the problems you can't see, you should be able to hear.
Good rule of thumb is to wash a test car through the wash. Listen for any sounds that sound unusual. This way you can detect and fix a problem before you open up for business.
Now that you've taken care of any potential problems with machinery, it's time to focus your attention on the chemicals you use. No two chemicals are alike, but all have the goal of ensuring the cleanest vehicle in the safest way. The first rule of thumb is to remember that only trained personnel should handle the car wash chemicals and should be dressed appropriately when doing so. Always remember to wear protective gear, rubber gloves, goggles, or glasses if necessary. But even if you don't handle them, every employee should be aware of the chemicals your facility uses. That way, you know what to do should you accidentally inhale them or come in contact with them. Every facility has a material safety data sheet, also known as the MSDS. It provides you with all the information you need to know about the chemical, the health hazard, and how to safely handle it. Remember, if you have any questions about labels or mixing chemicals, ask your supervisor. They are trained and can help reduce some of the risks to you. Once all these preliminary steps are taken, the next step is to do a quick inspection of you and your appearance. Are you properly dressed? Are you wearing clothing that could get caught in machinery or vehicles? Or jewelry that could scratch a customer's car? Are you wearing rubber-soled shoes so that you don't slip or fall? In most cases, tennis shoes are fine. If the answer is yes to those questions, you and your facility are ready to open for the day and ready for your first customer. And with that first customer begins a new focus on safety. When the customer arrives, make sure there's an employee to greet the customer and escort or direct them to a safe area. Keep in mind that a wandering customer presents the potential for tremendous liability. You don't want your customer to slip or fall. Also keep in mind, conveyors and the internal components of your car wash are not customer friendly. You wouldn't want your customers to come into contact with any moving parts because they didn't know where to go. And always do a visual inspection of the car as it pulls in. Look for antennas, wipers, loose molding, anything that would cause damage to the vehicle as it moves through the conveyor. But the greatest liability is when you, the employee, get behind the wheel of the car. Determine in advance who will be the designated driver whose job is to move vehicles from the vacuum area to the start of the conveyor. That person should be fully aware the process involves putting your foot on the brake, putting the car in drive, and then taking your foot off the brake. But before you attempt to move the car, make sure you look first to see where the gear shift is located and the brake. This is especially true if your facility allows customers to stay in the car during an exterior wash. Make sure you safely guide the customer onto the conveyor. Instruct them to put the car in neutral. And also instruct them not to steer or brake until they're directed to do so at the end of the wash. The next area of concern arises once the car is washed and moved to the drive-off line. Employees need to take the precautionary steps to make sure they don't hit other employees, vehicles, or customers while behind the wheel. What this means is the designated driver must scan and get visual contact with other offline employees, then apply his foot to the brake, move the car to D, and slowly move the vehicle to its new location. An employee should never put a car in reverse unless he or she is authorized to do so. In most cases, there is someone on the crew who has the authority to do so. If not, notify a manager. But let's face it, no one is perfect, and accidents do sometimes happen. So what should you do when it happens? First, make sure the customer or the employee is okay. Then immediately notify your supervisor. If you have the authority to settle these matters, you can proceed with the accident report. If not, your supervisor will begin the process. Get the details of the accident from as many people as possible and fill out the accident form. Remember to admit no liability. Your primary concern should be documentation of the events. There is a camera inside your accident kit. Proceed to take as many pictures from as many angles as possible. Now may be a good time to go over your facility's accident procedures so you know what to do should an accident happen. Also, make sure you know where the emergency shutoff switch is located. If you're not sure of its location, have your manager direct you to it now. Your quick response is vital to customer satisfaction. And your attention to safety is the key to smooth daily operations and customer satisfaction. But safety is also a concern once the last customer pulls off and the operations shut down. The end of the day often puts employees and managers at the greatest risk. It's when thieves are most likely to hit. Because of this, you should never close up the car wash alone. Always have someone there with you. When you prepare to leave, make sure you survey your surroundings carefully for anything out of the ordinary. And when you go to your car to leave, make sure your deposit bag is not clearly visible. Safety. It starts your day and ends your day, and can be the key to your success.